Hey everyone, welcome back to Little Shop of Nerds. I'm Mike.
Julia.
Alright, give us today's hint, Jules.
So today's hint is I'm not good enough.
Yeah, now, since it's Valentine's Day, and yes, we are going to do a Ryan Gosling film.
It's not The Notebook.
Nope. Or Crazy Stupid Love.
But he did do a very good job.
Yes.
We're actually going to be doing La La Land.
Yes, this musical came out around 2016 or 7.
Yeah, it's 2016.
Oof. That long ago.
A little old there.
Well, anyways, like I said, this is pretty much a musical about a guy who loves jazz and a girl who's trying to be an actress, and played by Emma Stone.
Okay, before we go any further, fuck the ending to this movie. I was not happy with the ending of this movie at all. It's how I felt with the ending of 5 Feet Apart. If you guys remember when we did the review for 5 Feet Apart, I was not happy with the ending of that movie. And there's Chewie. And I am definitely not happy with the ending of this movie. But I will say this movie was really, really good. I really, really liked it. But the ending, fuck that ending.
In short term, what's the point?
Yes. So it starts off with you see a traffic jam, and people get out and they're dancing and singing and everything because this takes place in L.A.
And
L.A. is famous for their traffic jams.
Yeah, and pretty much through the whole movie is how can I put this? If you ever seen a old Warner Brothers film, like Singing in the Rain, anything with Gene Kelly, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, most of those are jazz musicals, and most of these you would see would been done on a soundstage, but this takes place in the actual parts of LA, no soundstage acquired, and you pretty much get the point. And what they're doing is they were taking old style music, putting it with the modern day.
And it was really cool because there were some parts with like when it was Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone singing, they would kind of be dressed like Emma Stone always wore like dresses that wouldn't have been out of place in like the 50s
or the
40s, and he would be in like a nice suit and stuff like that. And so we get our first glimpse of his character's name is Sebastian and her character's name is Mia. So we get the first look of Sebastian where he's listening to something that he's recorded and he doesn't like how it sounds. And she's rehearsing lines for a play in her car. And then he drives by her by honking his horn. She flips him off and she goes on about her day. She works as a barista. She left to go to an audition. Does not get the part. And then then you see her with her roommates, and she's living in a very nice place too.
In LA, no doubt.
Yeah, and but she has like 3 other roommates, and they all go out to a party, and then you see she leaves the party.
Yep.
Finds her car has been towed, starts walking home, walks into a club, and because she hears Sebastian's music, and then she sees Sebastian. And to be honest, it feels like she had fallen in love with him at that moment.
Yes. And, he leaves, goes by her. Then we cut back to the scene with them back on the... This is from Sebastian's point of view.
Yeah, it goes back to when they were in the traffic jam.
Yeah. And we see he goes to this coffee shop because he sees this club that's right across the street because it's used to be a famous jazz club. Now he doesn't like it because how they're treating it. He goes back home. His sister's there telling him, hey, you gotta do something. And he goes back to the job playing the piano at the bar, like she said. And the boss, played by J.K. Simmons, telling him, hey, just play what you're supposed to. And he plays this nice melody. Then he gets fired because he doesn't like it. But he did make a point. they're not really listening to me, so why bother? Which I kind of agree with. Like,
Yeah. So Mia tries to go up to Sebastian to tell him that she really liked his music, and he just brushed past her. So that was around Christmas time. In the spring, sometime during the spring, they run into each other again at like another party, and he is playing in a band, and they meet eyes. He realizes who she is. And then they're talking. He has to go back up on stage, and then she gets accosted by this guy that one of her friends introduced her to. She doesn't seem interested in him, and he doesn't seem to be able to take the hint that she's not interested in him. So Sebastian gets the keys to his car. She asks him to get the keys to her car, and he goes, well, what key is yours? And she's like, it's the Prius. And he looks down, there's just a bunch of Prius keys. He's like, which one is yours? And she's like, the one with the green ribbon. So he got it. And then he walks her to her car, and
they stop at this little, I would say a park, a little bench area.
Yeah.
And they start singing how they don't think they'll ever get along. And they do it in an old-fashioned movie musical you would see, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
And they're, tap dancing and everything.
Yeah. And then she finds her car. She gets a call from, I think, someone named Greg, which is her boyfriend. She finds her car, and then she's like, do you want me to drive you back to your car? He goes, no, my car's just up here. Well, his car was back by the house where they were at. So he walks back to the house and he leaves. The next time that they meet each other is he runs into her, or he goes to her job. Because she works like we said, she works as a barista on the Paramount.
Yeah, it's the Warner Brothers lot.
Was the Warner Brothers lot? Okay, so she works like on the sound stages and stuff, selling coffee in a coffee shop. And he snuck in and to go see her. And then they start talking.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said that she didn't like jazz, and he is like, I want to take you somewhere. And he takes her to this jazz club that he likes to go to.
He's telling her about the history of it, how it can be pretty much how a music teacher would say it, try to get you pumped up about music. And the reason why he likes it so much because it's dying, and I kind of understand that, because look at our generation of music, it's pretty much gone. Because jazz, rock and roll.
I'm more of like an emo type person.
Well, emo's always going to be around.
But everything from, excuse me, but everything that I used to listen to that would be considered emo is gone.
Okay. That and also country. Remember country?
Yeah.
How it was actually...
Country isn't what country used to be.
No, now it sounds more like hip-hop or rap now.
It sounds more like country rock.
Well, country...
If that makes sense.
Well, there is country rock.
Or country pop or something like that. Like, it doesn't seem like country music anymore.
No, it's... Yeah, because remember how country music would... You know how people made jokes like, if you had like a dead dog, your girl left you, and you had a drinking problem and a gun, you had a country song.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. You can make a country song out of anything, basically.
Yes, but besides the point...
I used to listen to a lot of country when I was a little girl.
I grew up with a dad who liked country, so...
Same here.
So, getting back to the point, they're talking, they're getting to know to each other, and cut to the music montage of them going on dates and stuff?
No, because he invited her to go see a James Dean film.
Oh, before that, yes.
And she said that she would go, but then her boyfriend shows up and he's like, hey, no, we're gonna go meet, I think it was his brother. And so she goes, and he's waiting for her, but then he just goes into the theater, and she hears his song playing on the radio at the theater, or at the dinner, or at the dinner, but the restaurant that she was in. She's like, I'm sorry. And she just leaves, and she goes to the movie theater to meet up with them. And then there's a part where they were about to kiss. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, kiss now. But they didn't.
And
not at that point. But then they went to this Griffiths Observatory that was in the James Dean movie.
Rebel Without Cause. That's the name of the movie.
Yeah, and they were going around looking at all the stuff there, and it was definitely closed at night, but
I think what it was, they were pretty much doing this montage, like I always say, in old movie musicals. Not a lot of movie musicals did a lot of singing. They just did music with dancing, and that's pretty much what they were doing.
Mm-hmm. And but then at the end of the montage of them in the observatory, they did kiss, and then they officially became a couple.
Yep.
But every time he would show up to pick her up at her place, he would honk his horn really loud and really long.
With that type of car, it was loud.
Yeah, and so then you just kind of see them, like, she continues to you did see a lot of where she was acting or she was auditioning, and she did get a call back for one of the auditions, but she didn't get the part. And so Sebastian's like, well, why don't you write a play? So then she writes her own play.
Yeah. And she did. A one-woman show.
Yeah.
And I think there was also a scene where he's singing at the Santa Monica Pier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
I think that was after she had agreed that she would go to the movies with him.
Oh, yeah. But either way, besides that, she writes her own play. And her friend's like, hey, can you give me a part? And it's like, nope. And they're pretty much... There's that musical montage of, they're dancing. You know that part in that musical montage where the camera goes back and forth on Ryan and Emma? Mm-hmm. I read that one of the directors had to tap the camera guy to move it real fast.
Mm-hmm. Also, fun fact, Ryan Gosling learned how to play the piano for this movie.
Yeah.
So he didn't know how to play the piano until this movie. And he did a phenomenal job.
Yes.
I also read that it took 8 months for the choreography for Emma and Ryan to learn the choreography for this movie.
It takes a...
I don't know how girls can dance in heels. I mean, I would just break my ankle just walking in them. I don't know how women can run and dance in those things, because I would be dead on the floor if I tried to do that.
Right. Well, besides that, then we get Sebastian's friend, played by John Legend, by the way.
If you don't know who he is, you guys are living under a rock.
Pretty much, he's like a, famous singer?
Yeah, like I was sitting there and I was looking at him and I was like, why does he look so familiar? And I was like, who is that? And I was like, is that John Legend? And yeah, it was John Legend.
Yeah, and, he came to Sebastian and said, hey, since you're good at piano, I got a job for you. If you can help me with my band, we're doing great now. We need help. And he's like, no, thank you. And I guess what they're back at.
Yeah, there's a scene. It was after that night. It was that night. They were arguing about the club, because he wanted to do certain things, and Mia's like, I don't think that's gonna work. And I think he wanted to name, the club, Chicken on a Stick or something like that.
They did, yeah.
And she's like, well, why don't you name it Sebs, after his name? And, but they were kind of, arguing a little bit about it.
But
and
it was fun bantering.
Yeah. And then the next morning, he's listening to her talking to her mom on the phone. And she's talking, and I think at this point, they're living together.
Kinda.
And she's talking about, he's going to get it done soon. He's going to get it up soon. You don't have anything to worry about. And then he's watching her walking back and forth in the hall. And then he looks up in the corner of their room where he saw a wet spot. And at that point, he's thinking, okay, I need to get serious about this. So then he does take on that job that John Legend, he wasn't John Legend in the movie, he was like Keith or something.
Or something like that. It's just, he goes, he said, I'll do it. But the problem is, Sebastian is more of the traditional jazz, and his friend is more the new jazz that he doesn't like. Mm-hmm. But he needs money, he wants to help, and...
Yeah, they said that he'd get $1,000 a week, plus merchandising and and some of the ticket sales and merchandising and stuff like that. So he starts touring with them, and he comes back one night and they have a fight, and Mia walks out, and then he's at rehearsal. Because he wanted her to go to Idaho, Boise, Idaho with him. And she said that she couldn't because her play was about to open. And, but they argued. She walked out. She had her play.
He couldn't make it because of
a photo shoot.
In which he tried to apologize. She was upset because she knows she couldn't pay off a lot of people didn't show up, so she kind of gave up and left to go back to her hometown. And Sebastian's feeling bad. He's mad and whatever. He's at home sleeping. He gets a phone call. I guess they gave his number as an emergency. They called his number, and Mia got a part because someone went to her play, and
yeah, like a casting director or something went to her play, and they wanted her to come in and audition for a part. And he went to her hometown, picked her up, took her to her audition, and I think she got the part.
She did. And they kind of, and like, she does a musical number for her audition. When they're at the conservatory. Yes, conservatory again. And she asks, like, what about us? He's like, but what about us? He's like, well, you gotta do your thing. I gotta do my thing here. And, we'll see what we can do,
Yeah.
Paris has got good jazz. And then it cuts to 5 years later.
And this pisses me off. Mia is married to someone else, and they have a daughter. And I don't know who she married. But she's married, she has a daughter, and they, I think, are living in Paris. They go back to California. They were supposed to go to like some sort of like dinner or party or something, but there was a traffic jam. So then Mia's like, do you just want to pull off here and go get something to eat? And he's like, yeah. So they did. And then they come upon a jazz club. They go inside, and it's Seb's. It is Sebastian's club. He finally managed to get it up and running. And she sees how it was very
crowded.
It was crowded. It was successful. And then their eyes meet because he sees her. So then he goes up to the piano, and he's playing the song that he played the first time that they met. And then you see their life from the moment that they met until like at the club when he got fired. And it shows them going through life, and then it's a montage, and then they're married, and they have a child together, and they are the ones that go into that club.
But he doesn't own it.
Yeah.
So in one way, this is a what if, but I guess if you see in the opinion, I guess they had to follow their own dreams, but I get your point why it's bad.
Yeah. And then you see her, like, they smile at each other, and then you see her walk out of the club with her husband.
Yeah. And it ends the movie. And this movie, I'm going to have to say, it's good. I liked the beginning. The middle, I got a little bored, but you know, the end. When it got close to the ending, it got picked up. So I give the movie a 7 out of 10.
Fuck that ending. I give the movie an 8 out of 10, but fuck that ending. Because that ending broke my fucking heart. Okay? Just like I said earlier, the way that I felt at the end of 5 Feet Apart is exactly the same way that I felt at the end of this movie. Fuck this movie. I thought it was going to have a happy ending. I mean, technically, kinda, yeah. It had a happy ending. Because, I mean, he opened up his club. He was able to follow his dreams. And she was also able to follow her dreams. Where she finally got her name out there. And she was an actress. But I still think that they should have ended up together.
All right.
That's how I feel. I don't know. If you guys have seen it, what are your opinions on it?
What's next week's hint, Jules?
Okay, so next week's hint is going to be cake.
All right, y'all. This is going to be our last video for the Valentine's month.
Like, we'll be doing other lovey-dovey movies or whatever, like, throughout the year, but this month was specifically just dedicated to this type of thing.
Yeah. And
next week's is an anime.
Now, if you guys have any romance movies or anything you want us to do next year, put it down in the comments below. And don't say Romeo and Juliet. We already did that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, so also if there's any other movies you guys want us to look at, anime you want us to look at, books you want us to read, whatever, you know, put that in the comments and we'll get to it.
Yep.
We just, like we said I think it was last week, we don't like hack and slash movies, horror movies, that type of thing.
Yep.
So please don't recommend anything like that to us.
All right.
But that's pretty much it for this week. So we will see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.